A lot of the questions on the Photoshop exam have you creating new documents, and some of them have you adjusting and applying type or text to your images. Anytime you're creating a new document, you're going to do one of two things. You can just click on Create New right here, or you can say File New. Those do the same thing. And just like we've done in several times, you've got a whole list of different things. And it might say things that sound confusing, but it's just a matter of finding what it's talking about and clicking on it. So even if you have no idea what the thing is talking about, that's fine because you just have to look for it. So for example, if I get a question that says, create a new document for the web, and I'm like, I don't know how to create a new document for the web, but technically you do. You're just going to click on Create New, and then over here on all these tabs, is there one that looks like it would be for the web? Boom, it says web. If it says using the web medium preset, then you look over here under your presets and look, lo and behold, there is one that says web medium. If you don't see it there, you can click view all presets to see additional ones. So I'm going to click on it. Sometimes it might tell you to give it a name. You can do that over here where it says untitled. You can give it whatever name it tells you to do. And then at the bottom, you can just hit create and you've created a document right there. Let's do that again. If it says create a new document for art and illustration, I would say file new, or I can click on the Create New button, and if it's for art and illustration, I'm just going to look over here at which one of these best fits, and there's one that says art and illustration. If it says create one for print, I would click on print, and then if it says make one that's A4, I would do that. Maybe it says create a new document set to the tabloid size. I would click on Create New, and if I don't see tabloid, I could just click through these until I find one that says tabloid. I could click on it, give it the name, whatever it tells me to do. If it asks you to change other aspects, you're going to look down here until you see what it wants you to change and then modify it. And then you can click on the Create button. As far as type goes, remember that your Type tool is the big capital T over here. That's how you can add type to your document. There is a certain panel that works best with type. So anytime you're dealing with type, it's best to go up to Window and click on the Character panel. The Character panel allows you to modify different elements of your type. Sometimes it'll give you type that already exists. Sometimes it'll ask you to click and add type in. Let's just make some type real quick. Let's make it black. Let's make it a size that we can actually see. So if, of course, before you modify your type, you would have to select it. With your type tool, you can click and drag to select type. You can also just double click on the thumbnail in your layer panel to select your type. And then it's just a matter of modifying what it asks you to change. You can change it in the options bar if you have it selected and you have your type tool. Alternatively, you can change other aspects of it in the character panel. If it asks for you to change the tracking and you're like, oh no, I forgot what tracking is, once again, that's okay. Hover over things until you find what it's talking about. So I would just hover over each of these items until I find one that talks about tracking. So this one is the tracking, and I could click over here and modify the tracking for it. Tracking, once again, is the space between a range of characters. So like right now, I have my tracking set to -100, and all the characters, all the letters are very close together. But if I change my tracking to 200, all the letters become very spaced out. If it asks for me to change the leading, which looks like leading, but it's pronounced leading, go to your character panel, hover over things until you find the one that says leading, and then you can change it. Leading is the space between different lines of type. So you can change it and have a lot of space in between lines of type, or you can change it and have not a lot of space between lines of type. The other text thing that it might ask you about is kerning. Kerning is the space between two individual letters. If it asks for you to change it, you can just hover over these until you find which one deals with kerning, and then you can change it from there. And you can make two individual letters get closer to each other or further away, and that's what kerning is. But yeah, in this video we talked about saying File New or clicking on Create New. Don't get stressed. Look through the tabs, look through the presets, see what you've got. And then when you're using the type tool, and if you're modifying different aspects of text, it's always a good idea to pull up the character panel by going Window, Character. And if you're not sure what's what, hover over these things and it will eventually tell you what they do. And if you want to adjust type, highlight it first and then you can change it.